Any trouble here?
Then I'll let you lead. What about the bar? Find it down.
We gotta go.
Nah, we don't. They're scared of us.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2023 period drama The Bikeriders. The film is co-written and directed by Jeff Nichols and it stars Jodie Comer, Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, Michael Shannon, Boyd Holbrook and Norman Reedus. Right, this is a somewhat biographical tale. It's based on a book called The Bikeriders, and it was a chappie that followed this biking gang in the 60s and 70s, took pictures, and essentially turned it into like quite a famous book. And this film is kind of based on the escapades of this gang called the Vandals, this motorbike gang. We've got Tom Hardy, who plays Johnny. He's the leader of this biker gang. You've got Austin Butler, who plays Benny, who is kind of his number two. And he essentially falls in love with Jodie Comer's character, Kathy. They end up getting married. And this biking club kind of gets into all sorts of escapades, troubles, fights, you name it. And this film kind of documents it all from the highs to the lows. So, what are my thoughts on The Bikeriders? Well, I mean, I'm not really into bikes or anything like that. You know, I'm not. So I wasn't, you know, I wouldn't describe myself as being excited to check this film out. I'd heard good things about it, and I'm a fan of everybody involved in the film, really. Jodie Comer, I think, is, well, she's an incredible actress. I mean, she's a chameleon. She can literally do pretty much any accent and play anyone, and she does it absolutely flawlessly. I think she's one of the finest actresses working today, if I'm being particularly honest. And every time I see her, she just seems to impress me even more. And she's really the voice, really, of this film. You know, you see her being interviewed by this chappie, who's kind of taking these pictures. So he's not only taking pictures, but kind of recording people as well. So he's recording a lot of people, but it seems like the main one is Kathy, who's kind of the narrator of this film to a large degree. And then you've got Austin Butler, who, let's be fair, I mean, he is developing into a star. I mean, he looks like a star. He can act his socks off. I mean, Elvis was fabulous and a brilliant performance by him. And every time again I've seen him, he massively impresses me, from Dune to this. You know, whatever you see Austin Butler in, he seems to absolutely nail it. And he's definitely got a bright future ahead of him. Absolutely. And then we've got Tom Hardy playing Johnny, who, because he's kind of third billing here, I thought it was going to be, not in this film a great deal, but in actual fact, he's very prominent in this film, Tom Hardy. He's in it a great deal. And again, he plays a great part. Tom Hardy, fabulous actor. And he, you know, plays a great part here as well. I think you've got all these other actors that are thrown in there, like Boyd Holbrook and Michael Shannon, Norman Reedus, Bo Knapp. I mean, it goes on and on and on. You'll recognise all these faces from previous films that Jeff Nichols has done, but also famous faces that you've seen from other stuff as well. And it all kind of all adds to the ingredients and the impressiveness of this film. You know, it's shot absolutely beautifully. You get the, you know, very nice scenic scenes of them on the motorbikes, but make no mistake, guys, that this is a very dialogue heavy film. This isn't, you know, the American Dream type motorbike movie. It's actually very, very grounded in its approach, you know, and it does deal with the harsh realities of these clubs and, you know, the effects it has on the partners and the loved ones and all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't really pull a great deal of punches. So it's very much more of a drama. It's not action packed or anything like that. Yes, you get some bar fight scenes here and there, and other fisticuff stuffs, and bars being burnt down and all that kind of stuff. But it's not Hollywoodized or anything like that. It always kind of feels quite grounded, and it actually feels quite sad at times as well. You know, the life that these people lived. To me, it doesn't appear to be idealistic or anything like that. You know, to live the life they were living, they were just in love with being in this gang and riding motorbikes, and that was very, very clear. I think the film could have done a much better job of fleshing out some of the other characters. The main ones it focuses on are obviously Kathy, Benny, and Johnny, and then you've got others in the gang. As I say, Michael Shannon's character, Zipco, and then you've got Danny and Cal and Funny Sonny, and I mean it goes on and on and on. And a lot of these characters, they seem quite interesting and layered when you get them in the film, but you don't get them enough. And I would have liked to have seen more about them as well, learnt more about them. And it's, like I say, it's quite sad, but it's also, and you always feel sometimes a bit silly saying this when it's kind of biographical, but it also feels a bit predictable about where it's kind of going. You can kind of see the decline sort of thing of, you know, when the dream for them is kind of clearly coming to an end, and the harsh realities of building the gang up like this and letting anybody in from other parts of the country setting up their own kind of vandals, biker gangs, where it's kind of going to head, because, you know, Johnny, Tom Hardy's character, is the head of it all, but anybody can challenge him if they don't agree with him. And you see that a few times in the film, and you're just kind of thinking, well, that's not going to end well eventually, sort of thing. But yeah, there's a part of me would say to you, if you like these kind of period pieces, you know, if you like period dramas and that are quite grounded and hard hitting and based on like true life events, as this one is, and you want to see some, you know, really fine performances, then you're going to enjoy this one. If you're going into this for kind of, you know, shits and giggles, if you like, or you're going in for it for, you know, to be really entertained, sort of thing, you're probably going to come out a little bit disappointed. I think that's why the audience scores for this one are a little bit lower, I think, than the critical scores, because, you know, dramas like this are not really for many audiences. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy how this was made, and I enjoyed the performances, and I certainly felt like I learned a lot more by the end of the film about what the film was trying to tell me. But I didn't come away excited, enthralled, or feeling like I was massively entertained at the same time. So I think this might be a little bit of a divisive one for some people, but I do recommend this one. It was a very well-made film. So thanks for joining me, guys, for this review. I hope you liked it. I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.